Okay, as we're looking at these example problems, we're going to be looking at finding a common denominator. Number 29, they've worked out partially for us. So what I have going on is they had a 5 and a 3, and they decided the common denominator was 15. So to turn a 5 into 15, they're multiplying by 3. So 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6. To turn a 3 into a 15, they needed to multiply by 5. So 1 times 5 is 5. And then once I have the common denominator, I'll add just like we did on yesterday's lesson. So 6 plus 5 is 11. I have 11 over 15. For number 30, on that one, I need to find the common denominator. So I think a good tip is to start with the bigger number 3. 2 won't divide into 3, so then I double 3, which is 6. 2 will divide into 6, so 6 is my common denominator. To get a denominator of 6, I'm going to have to multiply the first one by 3. So multiplying top and bottom by 3 will give me a 3 over 6. To turn a 3 into a 6, I have to multiply by 2.
Pardon the interruption. Any Jr.'s last name is Q.
Then I can do 2 times 2 is 4. So I have a 3 over 6 and a 4 over 6. I'm going to add them together. So 3 plus 4 is 7 over 6, which is a beautiful answer. Number 31, similar idea. Once again, you could start with 8. 7 doesn't go into 8, so you could just keep on going through your factors of 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 7 doesn't go into that. 8 times 3 is 24. 7 doesn't go into that. Eventually, you'll come to 56 and find that 7 and 8 both go into 56. So that's going to be my common denominator. 7 times 8 is 56. So that's going to be 4 times 8 would be a 32 up top. I have to multiply top and bottom by 8. I'm going to have to multiply top and bottom by 7 to get a 56 out of the 8. So that's going to be a 32 minus 7. And 32 minus 7 does simplify to a 25 over 56. So that gives you the idea of how you do some of these with the numbers. And we're going to skip down and start looking at some with the letters, like number 34. On 34, you notice that this one has a y and this one has an x. Well, just like on some of these, like on number 31, you basically ended up doing 7 times 8. Or on number 30, you ended up doing 2 times 3. On 34, we're going to end up having a combinator of x, y, or y times x. Usually when I write these variables, I'll write them in alphabetical order, but if you wrote yx instead of xy, it would not be incorrect. Now, to turn a y into x, I'm going to basically have to multiply by x on the top and bottom. And to turn a x into a y, I'm going to have to, x into an xy, I'm going to have to multiply by a y top and bottom. So that's going to give me a 7y as my first numerator, and a 7x, can't read my own writing, as my first numerator, and a 5y as my second numerator. Now, when I add those fractions together, don't force anything on the like terms. Like I mentioned yesterday, the denominator is the same, it's xy. The numerators, I cannot combine those, so I just have a 7x plus 5y over xy. Do not try to force that into something it cannot do. I hope this gives you the idea of how to do these. Let's try one more maybe. On number 37, I need to basically say, well, my denominator is going to need to have a 2 because I see a number of 2. It's going to need to have an x because I see an x. It's going to need to have a y since I have a y. So to figure out how do I turn an x into 2xy, I need to multiply by 2y. So that's going to give me an 8y up top. And then to multiply my other one into a 2xy, what I'm missing from a 2xy is an x, so multiply top and bottom by an x. So that's going to give me a minus 3x. Then I'm running out of room here. I'm going to go ahead and write my answer to this one over here. Sorry about that, number 38. My denominator is 2xy. And then my numerator, I just combine those together. So an 8y and a minus 3x. Once again, don't force anything on the like terms. Just putting it together as a single fraction is acceptable. If you happen to have like terms, put them together. If not, just leave them separate. Please reach out if you have other questions.